Okay, it's happened. I can't resist doing a little rant. If you don't like rant videos, exit right now. Or if you want to do me a favor and get my views up, you can just let it play and go get a cup of coffee or whatever it is. Anyway, I'm a little tired of everyone, mustache, a little mustache there, using the current situation to make excuses for not wanting to do their jobs. Today I'm talking about some of my elected officials in particular. So here's the story. I go to the courthouse the other day to go in and pay my May installment of my property taxes. I walk up to the door. They got a sign on the door that says I have to go around to the side entrance, the one that goes down into the basement. I walk around there. The door's open. There's a deputy sheriff sitting in there behind a chunk of plastic glass. I said, I need to go to the treasurer's office and pay my taxes. He goes, you can't go to the treasurer's office. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, they'll take payments, but you have to put it in the drop box over here. So I look, there's the drop box. I said, well, I'm paying cash. It says check or money order only for the drop box. I've got cash. And he goes, well, you can't pay. You can't pay cash. You got to put it in the drop box or mail it in, or pay it online or whatever. But you can't go to the treasurer's office. I said, let me get this straight. The people who are in here can go in here. This is a taxpayer-funded building, and they can go in. The criminals that you guys are bringing across the street from the jail can go in. Why can't the taxpayers go in, the ones that are actually paying for all this? And he goes, well, you just can't go in. So I said, okay, and fine, walk back to the parking lot. So I called the treasurer's office from the parking lot on my phone. I get a lady at the treasurer's office. I told her what I wanted to do. She told me exactly the same thing the deputy told me. I said, now let me get this right. I'm a taxpayer. I want to pay with U.S. currency, and you're refusing U.S. currency and not letting me into a taxpayer-funded facility. And she goes, no, you can't come in. The county council or the county commissioners voted and said you can't. The courthouse is completely closed to the public. I said, then why are you bringing people in to go to court? Why can people come in and go to the probation office? Well, the courts are open. Well, you just said no, but no one from the public can come into the building. So why can they come in and I can't come in? Why can I go to Walmart but I can't come in? But I can't come in my taxpayer-funded courthouse. She goes, well, it's like this. We just the commissioners voted. This is the building closed to the public. You can't come in. I said, fine, whatever. And I guess you're refusing payment. I guess I won't be paying. Well, we're not refusing payment. You can still send us a check or a money order, or you can pay online. I said, I'm not doing any of that because all that costs extra, and I'm not doing it. I said, and besides, I'm sitting out in the parking lot with cash. She goes, well, you can't come in. I said, all right, fine, we'll come in. Then just remember, you guys refuse cash, so don't send me anything. So I leave the courthouse, and I go to the water company's office. I have no problem walking inside, paying cash. And I did the same thing, go over to the electric company, and did the same thing. Now, this is about 20 minutes or so now after I've left. So now I'm 15 miles from town, maybe. Making my first 2 stops. My phone rings. It's the county treasurer. She goes, I understand you called in and you wanted to pay your taxes. I said, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to do, but now I don't. And she goes, well, you can't come in the courthouse, but you can send us a money order, or you can pay online, or you can do this. I said, well, all of that costs extra. The only thing that doesn't cost extra is sending you a check. She goes, well, surely you write checks for other people. I go, that's not the point. I have United States currency. She goes, well, I'm sorry, they voted that you can't come into the courthouse. So we go through the whole thing with the taxpayer-funded building and all that kind of stuff. She gives basically the same answers and giggles during it, so I guess she thinks it's funny to screw with the taxpayers. So she goes, well, we sent you a letter, so there won't be any late payments or anything if you just want to wait. I go, that's not the point. I've got the letter right here. I'm looking right at it. It says on the bottom down here that paying in person is the least preferable method. It doesn't say it can't be done. It doesn't say you're going to lock the courthouse down so I can't come in there. It doesn't say your office is going to be closed. It doesn't say any of that stuff. So I still can't come into a taxpayer-funded facility. She goes, no, you can't come in here. She goes, I'll tell you what, if you want to come back to the courthouse now, I'll meet and have the deputy call, and I'll meet you at the door and take cash. I said, no, I'm not turning around and wasting gas to come back in there. I was already there. If that's the rule, then the girl who answered the phone in the treasurer's office should have known that, and the deputy turning me away at the door should have known it. As far as I was concerned, you guys refused payment twice while I was up there. The deputy wouldn't let me in to pay, and the girl from the treasurer's office wouldn't let me come in and pay. So I don't want to hear it. And she goes, well, it's the commissioners. I said, fine, I'll call the commissioners. So I call my commissioner, and basically the same runaround. There was well, with this virus, I said, I don't want to hear about the virus. All right, nobody's dying of this crap. According to what numbers you look at, it's a less than 1% to 3.5% mortality rate for this thing. So knock it off. If I can go into Walmart without a mask or anything, then I should be able to come into the courthouse, walk up to the treasurer's office, hand him cash, and walk back out. And he basically gave me the runaround and said, well, it's the governor's guidelines. I said, I don't think it is. I said, like I said, if the courthouse was closed, the courthouse would be closed. All these other people shouldn't be coming in and out of there, like the people going to court, like the people going to probation, like the people coming in to do their voter volunteering thing where they're putting their application. All those people are coming in and out. I sat in the parking lot while I was talking to them on the phone and watched people going in and out of that courthouse. So it's not like it is closed to the public. It's only closed to selected parts of the public. So I ended up hanging up with the commissioner and calling the governor's office. The girl who answered the phone up there, I think her name was Christian. I said, I just need to know, does the governor's guideline say that all public courthouses and treasurer's offices and things like that have to be closed to the public right now? She says, why are you asking? I said, well, I just went in and tried to pay cash. They refused my cash payment for property taxes. They wouldn't let me in to pay it. And she goes, well, well, your courthouse is closed. You're just gonna have to send it in. I said, that's not my question, and that's not your decision. I said, this is what I want to know. Is it a rule that they have to be closed? She goes, well, the governor's guidelines. I said, that's not what I want to know. I said, do the governor's guidelines say that? Well, the governor made a decision. I said, well, get him on the phone since you won't answer the question. Now, get this. She goes, well, if you want to talk to the governor, you're going to have to put a written request in to talk to him. I said, let me get this right. I have to put a written request in to talk to my elected officials. She goes, yes, you have to do that. I go, all right, never mind. We'll just let this slide, and I'm not going to pay until you guys open the courthouse back up. So that was the whole thing. Still haven't paid. Still not going to pay until I can walk in there and give them cash. And now it's the principle of the thing. Says right down here that it's the least preference. Doesn't say I can't do it. As far as I know, let me check. Yep, still says it on there. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. So, you're refusing United States currency. An office of my government is refusing U.S. currency. All right, that's it. Talk to you all later. Have a good one. Bye.